So you got ad pros and you got total newbies. What are the big mistakes that newbies make that pros know not to do that end up making them tens of thousands of dollars every single month more because of what they do differently? Now, I've managed millions of dollars on both Facebook and Google, and I've also been inside of hundreds of accounts that have been set up by people who just aren't as experienced as I am. And so I can tell you some of the biggest mistakes that newbie people make when they get started running ads. So if you are new to running ads and you want to become an ad pro and you want to make sure that you are making as much money as possible, be sure that you are not making one of these 4 mistakes. The first and one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of newbies make when they get started running ads is they don't know how to separate their media planning and their media buying. When a new person gets into an ad account, oftentimes they get so excited because Facebook and Google has made it so easy to set up these ad campaigns that they don't actually do any planning. They just jump into an ad account, they set up 1 or 2 ads, they have 1 landing page, they put whatever low budget they can come up with for that day, and they just start running ads. Now, what I can tell you is pros spend a lot of time planning out their campaigns. And even at my agency, we separate out the planning part of the process to the actual media buying part of the process, what you're doing inside the ad account. This is everything from your creative strategy, your messaging strategy, your market research, crafting your offers, designing your landing pages, designing your creative strategy. Before we ever launch a campaign, we've done a ton of research. We know exactly what angles we're going to be taking into the market. We have multiple variations of copy. We have 5 to 10 images to get testing. We already know what the next 5 to 10 images or videos that are going to be coming up next. We've already got our landing pages and we already know what our next test is going to be. We never go into a campaign and launch some stuff and then hope that something works after that. We've already got a plan for what are we gonna do if this works? What are we gonna test next? And we have a pretty big budget to make sure that we can allocate that towards testing all of the things that we need to test to really figure out what angles, what messaging, what visuals, and what landing pages are going to convert best for this campaign. Now, the second big thing that ad pros are really good at is having a really clean account structure. I've been inside of so many accounts that have been set up by people who have absolutely no structure at all. Their naming conventions are all over the place. They have no idea what's running where or what's working, and their campaigns are not very organized. They just have stuff thrown everywhere into different accounts. Everything's set up differently. There's really no rhyme or reason to what they're doing. Now, we've gone in and made huge improvements for accounts just by going in and taking exactly what they're doing, but restructuring it into ways that we know work better inside of accounts. The reason you need to do this is because you need to be in control of where your money is going. What are the campaigns that are working best? What are the ads that are working best? What are the audiences that are working best? And how are you going to make sure that you are allocating the majority of your budget towards those things? Now, if you just throw all the audiences into one ad set, or you just throw all your ads into one campaign, you really don't have that control. And so what you're doing is you're giving up all the control of the ad platforms and just hoping that they do what's best for you. And really what we know from all of these big ad platforms is they're just trying to get you the best delivery. They're not trying to make you the most money. You've got to have a pro media buyer in there who knows how to set things up so that they can control what's going on inside the ad account, which is inevitably going to get you higher conversions and more profitability out of your ad campaigns. It's also going to make it way easier for you to actually see what's working and what's not working inside your account, so that all of that money you are spending are actually becoming learnings and you can improve over time. And this is how you can optimize a campaign, and you can get way better results in month 3 or 4 than you did in month 1 or 2. The third thing, and probably one of the biggest ones that I see between people who are really new at advertising and people who are pros, is having a process for constantly testing. Now, I have audited a ton of accounts where people just don't really have any testing strategy, and they want us to take a look at their account because what they're doing isn't working. And when you jump in there and look, you see that they're just running the exact same 3 ads that they started with the exact same landing page. They haven't really tried anything. All they've kind of done is turn on and turn off campaigns from the first iteration of what they thought was going to work, and they don't really have a plan for what to do next. Now, again, a pro really knows what do they need to be allocating their time and their budget towards as far as what needs to be tested next. They can look at the data and see, okay, based on what's working, should we be testing new audiences? Should we be testing new creatives? Do we need to be testing the landing page? And they can help you make a decision on like, where should you be focusing your energy and time on tests? And also, how much of your budget should you be allocating towards those tests? Which brings me to the last one, which is budget and KPI tracking. So again, there are so many people that I have talked to who have gone in and set up ad campaigns because they saw someone talking about how great Facebook ads were, and they really didn't know what their budget was, what it should be, and they didn't really know what they were getting out of what the money that they were spending, right? They just knew that money was showing up in their bank account. They thought it was more or less than what they spent, but they didn't really have a clear tracking system. Now, if you have a really pro media buyer, they will be able to tell you how much of their budget are they allocating towards cold traffic, how much of that that budget are they allocating towards retargeting? How much of that is going towards scaling versus how much is going towards testing new things? They'll know exactly what KPIs they need to hit in order to be profitable. They will know exactly what KPIs they're hitting right now inside the account, so they know if they are above or below those target metrics, and they will know exactly what numbers that they need to hit to scale. Now, the other thing that's really important if you want to be a skilled media buyer is being able to keep up with what strategies are working now versus what strategies used to work in the past. YouTube ads actually made a bunch of changes this year, and so there are a bunch of strategies that used to work last year that don't work anymore. This video will show you 3 strategies that don't work that used to and what you should be doing instead. So click on this video right here and I'll see you over there.